He's After the Talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We talk weeklies after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful.
Lauren
And the
Sizzle.
beautiful.
Classy Lady Sparkle.
And we are here today, man, back in the studio 2024. Excited about that. It's been a long time. And, we had to, I don't think I do New Year resolutions anymore, right? Do y'all still do that?
7 on the beat.
I feel like you gotta have something. Like, even if it's not a resolution, maybe it's like like goals, and I don't know. I function off of goals. So if I don't have something to achieve, it just don't feel right to me.
I know what you're saying, Sizzle. I think with mine for resolutions, I don't say, at the top of the year, I'm going to start this. I'm very impulsive. So it'll be December 29th, and I'm like, today I'm starting.
Right.
I won't wait until the new year to do it. But I think a lot of women, I'm not speaking for all because I don't want everybody coming at me, but a lot of women, we do
that.
We do think in timelines, analytical. Like we think of goals and like, put a time frame on it and then we can execute. So I agree with you on that one.
No doubt. Okay, no doubt. So I guess before we go into anything, we gotta ask, how was your day? How was your day? All right, sis, how was your day?
My day was busy,
Right.
Doing house stuff, all that, renovating and picking out this and that and backsplash and marble countertops, just all that boring fun stuff. Yeah, and then it's cold as heck outside, so it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It is. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't too bad today, though.
early
Yeah,
during the day,
earlier,
but
yeah.
then it's like,
Sun came up.
it's when you hear in the weather that it's starting out at 59 degrees, just know by the end of the day it's gonna be cold.
Yeah, no doubt. What about you, Classic Lady? Highlight.
I had a good day. It was productive. We did a lot of CMOS sales today, so that was good.
Who? Oh, see. Oh, yeah.
CMOS.
Oh, yeah, you ain't bring none in.
Yeah, you gotta request it. I didn't know y'all needed a read.
Every time,
Yeah.
every
Yes.
time, every Saturday. It's going by the Saturday.
All right, I got you. But the other thing is that now, did the Eagles make it to the playoff? I think
They
so.
in there, but
Yeah.
they have their first game tomorrow, so I think
Okay.
I think a lot of people are just kind of like, we diehard fans, but it's just like, dag, our hearts are broken.
I know, but I'm hoping that this is a blank canvas that we can start off with a clean slate, and then, we always say this about Philly men, like they build us up to let us down.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because if they lose, then it's curtains. It's like, that's it. That's it. It's just,
I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it because I get mad. Literally,
Yeah.
10. You win. Anyway, I'm leaving it alone.
yeah.
What was up with your day? See?
Busy. My day's always busy. I'm a little tired today. I got an event to go to. My man, birthday is this evening.
Tonight?
Yeah, I know, right? I'm like, I promise I'm gonna slide through, but that's it. I'm gonna slide through and slide back out. The show end late, so jumping into there, it is what it is, though. Speaking of
after a certain time, it's like,
Yes.
especially in the winter,
yeah,
it's bedtime.
that's what it is. It's too cold to be playing around, and especially if there's no parking. That's where it become a little headache. All right, but I got some good news. Yeah,
What's-
good news, bad news. Holla at me. You like what? Give it to me early.
All right. I got a few stories for y'all, so I'm going to speed through these and then have some discussion later. All right. The allegations surrounding Hunter Biden, who is facing accusations of 9 felonies and misdemeanor tax offenses, according to federal prosecutors, that these charges are linked to a 4-year scheme where Biden allegedly evaded paying $1.4 million in taxes. Instead, the funds were reportedly diverted to sustain a lavish lifestyle, as Hunter himself has acknowledged it. And this involved both drugs and alcohol.
Sheesh, that boy.
So I don't think that's making the president look too good.
Definitely not.
Okay. All
But
right.
I mean, that's his son. I don't know how you can hold the sins. They say you can't
The
can't
sins
hold
of
the
the
sins of
father.
the father, the son or the father, something like that. I can't
Listen,
remember,
yeah.
but you know that's
Your
that's
father's
him.
the president.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
You
that's
can have some
but that's
decorum.
him rebelling though. That's him rebelling. That
As-
had
at
nothing
almost
to do with
60?
the president.
What?
And you know I'm
Rebelling?
hard. You know I'm hard on a president, but his son has nothing to do with the president. That's him
I
being
disagree.
a a-hole.
I disagree because
Yeah.
when you're getting when Biden got in office, you
Right.
got to go through everybody in the household.
Yeah.
All they want to know all the names of
That's
your
true.
first. So yeah, he knew he was wrong.
Yeah, I think Biden knew that he was gonna have a problem with this stuff that goes on with his son because
You better get in control. Okay, this next story. In a tragic incident back in 2021, a West Philadelphia block party turned deadly as 2 lives were lost to gun violence. According to the DA's office, Jalen Mickens was identified as the shooter. The unfortunate incident occurred on July 4th, 2021, during a celebratory cookout where Mickens and others unleashed over 100 gunshots into the crowd, believing they were targeting a rival gang members. Shockingly, the victims turned out to be beloved West Philadelphia entrepreneurs and community members. That's 23-year-old Sakar Johnson Jr. and 21-year-old Sadaldin Mahmood. Yeah. Yes. Johnson, a clothing store owner, was hosting a free barbecue and celebrating the anniversary of his store. The DA's office clarified that both victims were not the intended targets and had no connections to the ongoing gang conflict that fueled the tragic shooting. DA Larry Krasner revealed that the sentencing of Mickens, coupled with the arrest of multiple members from the groups, identified the I'm saying what they called them as a gang was
Right.
O2 to 4 and FSB, contributed to a significant reduction in shootings. So since Meekins has been arrested, there's been a 24% decrease in the 18th district and a 19% decrease in the 19th district.
The 19th. That's my district. the
Yeah.
19th.
So they're saying that since that happened, they broke up the gang, that it's gone down. Jalen Mickens have pleaded guilty to 2 counts of murder, conspiracy, and assault charges, and has been sentenced 22.5 to 50 years in
Jeez.
prison. The legal proceedings for the second defendant in the case are still pending trial.
Wow, that's football numbers right there. Wow, come on, Philly, what y'all doing? We gotta do
Yeah.
better. We have to do better. We definitely have to do better.
Yeah, I can't speak for this young man, but I can almost say that if he had to do it again, he would choose differently.
Yeah, of course.
He would make different decisions.
Of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of course.
All right. This story is about Philadelphia's fight against the open air drug market in Kensington. Mayor Sherelle Parker has appointed Pedro Rosario as the new deputy commissioner for the Kensington Initiative. This move not only designates Rosario as the highest ranking Latino in the history of Philadelphia's police department, but also reflects Mayor Parker's unwavering commitment to permanently eradicating the challenges in Kensington.
She ain't playing. Huh?
She said she was going to do it. Deputy Commissioner Pedro Rosario, the first Latino to hold this prominent position, was sworn in with a specific mission, and that was to address and rectify the ills of plaguing the Kensington neighborhood. Open air drug markets, which operate in areas primarily in the black and brown communities where drugs are sold. And that's like a national coin, the open air drug market.
Yep.
Like when you look at different cities, it tells you where to go. So if you put that in Google, it'll say what part of that city. Which
That
is
you can go
crazy.
and use drugs.
Yeah. Open air.
Out in the open.
drug- Yeah.
Wait, I didn't know that. So what you're saying is you can put that in Google. Say where is open air
Drug markets.
Yeah,
And
so
I'm
that-
not saying that you can't be reprimanded by
No,
law.
no, I
like-
understand that. No,
oh,
I'm
but
just
yes,
saying,
it's
but you can find where I want to
yes,
go in.
it's almost
That's
like
wild.
yes,
I didn't know that. That's
yes,
wild. I
you
didn't
go
know that.
on Google and put in a city and ask for their open air drug market, and they're going to show you what facility or vicinity, I should say,
Yeah.
in that neighborhood of where that is.
Unbelievable, man.
Yeah, I mean everything is a digital footprint now, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay. In a shocking and deeply unsettling revelation, the discovery of 215 bodies buried in an unmarked grave behind a jail outside of Jackson, Mississippi, has sent shockwaves through the community. Among the families, Miss Betterstein Wade, whose 37-year-old son, Dexter Wade, allegedly lost his life. Now, y'all need to follow this story, okay?
Yeah.
He allegedly lost his life by being struck by a Mississippi police car in March of 2023. The families are expressing their frustration at not being notified of his death and the distressing manner in which their loved one was laid to rest. So his mother, Miss Wade, had no knowledge of her son's tragic accident until months later when she filed a missing persons report in March. It wasn't until August that she discovered that Dexter had been hit by a police car and buried in the cemetery of unmarked graves.
Wait, all right. So I'm trying to follow this. So what you're saying is, almost a year ago, right? So we in January, February, March. It happened in March 2023.
Yes.
All right. So almost a year today, a young man was hit by a police car.
Killed.
Killed, yeah. Hit by a
Fatally.
police car, fatally killed.
Fatally
right?
hit. Yeah.
Fatally hit. And the police, instead of acknowledging what they did, instead of calling anyone, calling parents, calling anyone who's related to this gentleman, they decided to just go ahead, take his body, and just bury him in the back of a prison,
Unmarked.
unmarked.
Right. And the story will tell you
Wow.
that they claim they tried to contact the mom, but there's a twist in the story as to why she said they're lying. So the shock intensified when, upon exhuming his body, an autopsy revealed that he had identification in his front pocket with his wallet, license, and medical card. So he still had on the clothes that he got hit in. They put him in a box and just put him backyard.
Unbelievable.
So sad.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
The authorities' explanations that they couldn't reach the next of kin is what they said. It's met with disbelief by the grieving family. So Miss Wade in particular, she questions why they didn't come to her home when they had the address instead of trying to contact her by phone. So Benjamin Crump, y'all familiar with him? He's the attorney for the Wade and other
Uh-oh.
families.
Mr. Crump.
He expresses the lack of adequate explanations from the authority. Despite the identification found on Mr. Wade, this led the detectives allegedly claimed to have called without receiving an answer. They didn't take any further action, and there was his ID. So the disturbing reality is intensified by the fact that when they exhumed his body to go back behind this jail, they found 215 other bodies in similar unmarked graves behind the Mississippi jail.
Unbelievable. So they've
They've been doing this. So
been doing this a minute. Can you imagine how many other times that they accidentally did something and it was like, okay, don't worry about it. They black, so we can just go ahead and bury them in the backyard.
Benjamin Crump says this issue goes beyond race because affected by this was both white and black individuals. I'm quite sure that it's this proportion, like it's probably more bad. But it's both black and white individuals buried in the same manner. The lack of proper identification and the practice of assigning only numbers to the graves intensify the anguish experienced by the families involved. So basically they're saying, if we can't find nobody, we're going to put you in a pine box and put you in the
But
bag.
they didn't try.
That's, yeah. I mean, he had
Literally.
license in.
Yeah, so they didn't do anything. They just were like, oops.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Unbelievable.
Yep. And that was your good news and your bad news from Classy Lady Sparkle.
And that was your good news and bad news with Class Lady Spark. I'm your boy, Charles Gregory, the beautiful.
Lauren
The
Sizzle.
beautiful.
Classy Lady Sparkle.
This is We Talk Weeklies After the Talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies After the Talk, and I don't want you guys to go anywhere. When we come back, we have a gentleman with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. I think this gentleman is going to lighten up the mood a little bit. I'm excited to talk to this gentleman, but I don't want you guys to go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
What's going on, you guys? This is Bridget Kelly, and you are locked into We Talk Weekly.
Talk Weekly's After the Talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weekly's After the Talk with your boy Charles Gregory and a beautiful
Lawrence Sizzle.
Classy Lady Sparkle.
Classy Lady Sparkle. Who do we have today?
Today, we have to introduce Kamal Jackson. He's hailing from Oakland, California, and now residing in San Diego. And a San Diego State University graduate with a BA in sociology and economics.
Okay.
Kamal delved into broadcasting and journalism through an unconventional classroom of YouTube. He's founder of Kamal Johnson's Network, and his mission is to challenge the ideologies of white supremacy and anti-blackness while champion black empowerment. Y'all already know what to do. Let's give a warm We Talk Weekly welcome to Mr. Kamal Johnson.
My brother, how are you?
I'm doing great. How y'all doing over there?
Hello.
Hey, we in the building, man. You know, you sound like you got a nice little resume behind you. Go ahead, my brother, go ahead.
I mean, it's solid and all, but I got and like y'all made me sound great. God damn. You know? Jesus Christ.
Well, listen, you a king, you know, so we got to amplify those things. So we appreciate you. So before we get into anything, you know, I got to ask, I ask everyone, how was your day? How you doing? How you feeling? How you making out in these streets?
So I'm feeling great. Actually, earlier today, I've been just listening to like MLK speeches and stuff like that. Because, you know, we coming into MLK Day and stuff like that. But a lot of people be talking about the I Have a Dream speech, but they don't talk about the Other America speech when bro was talking about us as black people collectively need to be more economically benefited by, you know, the government and stuff like that. What was the other speech? I think it was I arrived on the mountaintop or something like that. Yeah, in '68, the speech he did before he got killed. I'm like, man, he was spitting gems on that one. We only get the one that like I Have a Dream speech. That was phenomenal too. But the other gems and the other speeches that he was giving in '67 and '68, I mean, you know, we need to get that out there more. You feel me?
No doubt. And I agree with you. So since we're there, I think this is an excellent transition. Let's talk about it, right?
Yeah.
You know, let's talk about some of those missing gems that are unfortunately not amplified like all of the other ones. And one can argue that, of course, you know, on a mountaintop is the most peaceful one, right? That's more inclusive with everything. But when we start to talk a little bit about how we can start amplifying our own people, how we can start financially supporting our own and black businesses, I think that's where we're started to turn. And, you know, Martin Luther King Jr. would always, you know, or he was starting to talk a little bit more about self-sustainability when it comes to people who look like us, right? So let's talk a little bit about that, you know, and, you know, you listening to some of those speeches, right? And you understanding those dynamics. Why do you think it's important to talk a little bit more about that? And in his vein, since it is, you know, pretty much his birthday, what is it, in a couple days, you know, Martin, so what should we be doing as, you know, Black America or people who just look like us, the BIPOC community, to amplify and uplift those meanings or that energy from Dr. Martin Luther King, but also, you know, what should we do to start talking more about the other side of this Dr. Martin Luther King?
Man, to be honest, we need to stop being fucking afraid. Oh, can I curse? Is that okay?
No. But that's all right. Go ahead. Keep going.
My bad. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, my brother. Go
We
ahead.
need to stop being afraid about that side. We like to try to, you know, have MLK to be like, oh, he was submissive.
Yeah.
And it's very kumbaya and stuff like that. But nah, down the line, he was like, hold on. Some of y'all that was over here in Birmingham when I made that I Had a Dream speech in '63, y'all ain't messing with me now when I'm talking about us as black people need to be economically equal as y'all, or we need to be paid for the slavery and also the injustice to black Americans and stuff like that. You know, when he start talking like that, you know what I mean? You know, that's all of a sudden he gets killed.
Yeah.
You know, and he was saying it's like, you know, he said slave and slave, but I get what he was saying. He said and black people, black Americans and black Americans. When we come together, we actually beat that system and that ideology of white supremacy.
Yeah.
You know, and he was talking that, you know, in 67 with the other American speech, and then in 68, and then, you know, all of a sudden he gets killed. And it just makes you wonder, it's like, yo, when he's telling us if we come together,
Yeah.
you know, economically, hell, even right now, what we doing
That's right.
digitally, you feel me?
Yeah, no, for sure.
We uplift each other, you feel me?
Yeah.
Us working together, we'll combat that, you know what I mean, the white supremacy and anti-blackness and stuff like that. Because, like, essentially, let's be real, they be trying to suppress media like us, yo.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the time. They always try to suppress us. And it's like the only way that we could combat that is if we work together. Just like with the Cat Williams and Williams could have went on Joe Rogan, right?
Yeah.
25 milli, right? But instead he went to Club Shay Shay.
That's
He
right.
got those numbers.
Love it.
You know what I mean? Even though, like, some of the things Cat Williams I wasn't agreeing with, but some of them I was. I was like, man, coming in with spicy. But I'm glad he went to Club Shay Shay instead of going to like a Joe Rogan or any other top-notch white media outlets. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I think, you know, we argue all day about this, right?
Mhm.
If you are not supporting local media, independent media, they won't be where you would like them to be for you to succeed, right? But unfortunately, or I say ironically, the independent small media are the media that you go to when you're not anybody, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so we have to do better with holding people accountable, but also you have to start saying to yourself, in the vein of what you're talking about, is like, yo, we got it. We're in this together. We have to know that we're in this together and we're stronger together than stronger apart. Go ahead, Clay.
Yeah.
I was going to
sorry.
ask you, Kamal. I can hear your passion. I can definitely hear it. And I was just going to say a quote, and then I'm going to ask you a question. But my quote from MLK, the one I always love, is that it's the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of convenience and comfort, but where he stands in times of challenges and controversy. And the reason I always say that is because when you slipping tea under the tree, life is good. It's where you really are when you're tested. So I want to ask you, when you got on this journey of, being the voice for the voiceless, when was that time? What was it that you had that epiphany to say, you know what, I need to do this for my people, and this isn't fair?
I mean, to be honest, I've always been black. So I've always been voicing this opinion.
Yeah.
It's just, I kind of cultivated a way for me to speak, and I'm going to be honest, accidentally. Because I never wanted to be in front of the camera. I always wanted to be behind the camera. But I always had these ideologies and things like that. So after a while, not having people to be in front of the camera and speak these ideologies and basically my lifestyle, I was like, well, let me try this out.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to sit here and say like, yeah, I purposely did this. I meant for the voice of the voiceless. You feel me? I was never like that. I wanted to be behind the camera and be like, oh yeah, okay. It's just, if you want to say God, God put me in this position. I always been a black man in America.
Yeah.
So I'm going to voice my opinion this way. And there's other people that are like me. And it sucks to say that we are the voiceless, you feel me? But I think that voice is getting amplified.
Absolutely, 100%. I believe that, especially you can see all the podcasts that's out right now, and people who look like us that's making waves in the industry. Literally, you look at, Club Shay Shay, and you look at the whole Cat Williams, because you brought that up. You're talking about a podcast literally that did prime time legacy media numbers.
Yeah.
And that's independent. How much was it? 45 million?
Yeah.
Like 45. Yeah.
45
47.
million. 40 now 47
Almost
million.
47.
Almost 47 million on YouTube.
And think about the time frame. Now we're not talking like a month. We're not
It's
even
10
talking
days.
10 days. And the most viewed video on YouTube with 1 billion views is the Shark song.
The billion. Oh, for the kids.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that was over time. This is within 10 days.
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
days. Amazing.
Yeah. And so let's talk a little bit more about, just Black Podcast. You have one yourself. What made you start even creating content and wanting to have a voice on this digital media stream?
Well, one, I kind of don't even consider myself like a podcast.
Okay.
I consider it like a news show
I
because
love
the way
it.
I construct it,
Okay.
the way I deliver it. I'm a news anchor. Did I go to school for that? Hell no. I went to the school of YouTube.
That's
That's where I got my journalism from.
right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But I'm doing the same thing that they're doing, And my thing is, there's a brother named DeWan, and he says there's a thing called the power of fiat. And basically is you tell people who you are, eventually that's who they're gonna think you is.
That's right.
And I'm gonna bring up a person, for example, Donald Trump. Bro was telling everybody before he became president 4 years, he's like, watch, I'm gonna be president. I'm gonna be president. People laugh like, bro, you sound crazy. Ain't no way in hell. What happened? Bro become president. I feel like, I'm like, you know what? We need to do that the same as us as Black people and Black Americans.
Yeah.
If we say we a news anchor, that's what we is, okay?
Yeah.
If we want to say that we are media moguls or we own a media production company, that's what we are. That's how we present ourselves. So that's, the answer to your question.
Fantastic. Now, entertainment, comedy, what's going on in the energy? What's going on in, I'll say in this comedy sphere right now? I think Cat Williams woke up a lot of different people, right? But then you have people like Ricky Smiley, showing how upset he is. Then you have Cedric Entertainer speaking up. You have Steve Harvey been kind of quiet, I think he said a couple different things, but Dave Chappelle and all the comedians seem to be waking up right now. I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and not pointing fingers at anyone or trying to be, rude, but one of the things that I said was all of the comedians, I don't think anyone is looking at it like this. Yeah. All of the comedians, even Kevin Hart until lately, that Cat Williams mentioned really wasn't doing anything, right? And when at least they wasn't, all out in everyone's, kind of sphere. This is where we're talking about Steve, we're talking about Cat, we wasn't talking about a lot of the comedians like we should have been, especially our Black comedians.
Yeah.
Once he mentioned all of this, all of a sudden, now they're I hate to use the word relevant again because that sounds negative, right? But now people are talking about them.
They're on the radar.
They're on a radar, right? Do you think that we may have overstood what Cat Williams has been doing because people are pointing fingers at Cat, but I think literally we didn't think about maybe he had a conversation with them like, yo, I'm gonna throw y'all out here, just be ready, I'm gonna wake it up. They comedians. Comedians say a lot of stuff, right? Comedians talk. So what do you think this whole thing was? Do you think it was intentional by Cat? Do you think he had something out, for, a Steve Harvey or something? What do you think led to Cat Williams and his, pointing fingers at some of these comedians? What do you think led up to that?
I mean, did y'all listen to the other interviews on Club Shay Shay? Like Cedric the Entertainer, Earthquake.
Yeah, I heard it said.
Steve
I didn't hear
Harvey.
Earthquake. Yeah.
I seen Steve's.
You seen Steve? Yeah, I didn't see
I
Steve.
seen Ricky Smiley's too.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I went back and listened to all of them, and he was responding to probably because he had convos with them. They all comedians and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, what I found out was like, damn, this stuff is hella competitive. How is comedy this competitive? I thought everybody was together and stuff like it's competitive. Also, there's a lot of faulty stuff that's going on. And okay, when there's one person saying it, you be like, all right, you might be BSing, right? When you start hearing another person and then another person say it, like you be like, hold on, it might be some truth to this. Y'all know comedian Corey Holcomb, right?
Yeah, Corey Holcomb.
So he got his own
5150, right?
5150.
5150.
Yeah.
Yep. That's right.
So
That's my
bruh
guy.
has been saying this for a minute,
Mm.
right? So with Corey Holcomb, he'd be like, "Oh, you say wild stuff, bruh. I really don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?" Cat Williams said it. You like, okay, well, local comedian in LA
Right.
that says the shit. And I'm like, okay, Cat Williams got some truth to this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he is exposing more of a system in my eyes.
Okay.
They just casualties of war. You feel me? Now I
got
can see it in the eyes. It's like, God damn, bro, why is it only black people? I know it's some white people, but he did mention Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, bro, that was only one. I know it's others.
Yeah, he mentioned Diddy. You
No, I'm talking about the white boys
Yeah.
that
No,
be
I
doing
got
the
you.
faulty stuff.
Yeah.
It was all black men except for Harvey Weinstein. And I'm
Mm.
like, Cat Williams, bro, like, I know you already spilling the beans. I know it's other white executives and stuff like that that's in the comedy realm that's doing some faulty stuff. You feel me?
Yeah.
That was kind of my gripe with the. I'm sorry.
No, it just sounds like he spoke to who spoke on him, though. He really just addressed, which no white people have spoke on him. You know what I mean? But he was responding to everybody that spoke on him. Harvey Weinstein didn't speak on him, but he did bring him up. But if you, like you said, you saw the other things he was talking about, you know, when Ricky Smiley said that the, you know, he was offered the pimp role, but he really got the Santa Claus role. So certain things he was just saying, you're not going to give the wrong narrative for what I've experienced and think I'm gonna sit by and let you do that.
Yeah.
And so he addressed things that were untruths, and he gave that disclaimer when he came on. So I think that's, you know, it wasn't like a black on black. It was more on, let me address the people who've been speaking on me.
Oh no, I understand that, but I'm seeing people say that narrative. Like, oh, bro, you only talked about black people, or oh, you publicly embarrassing black men.
I got
That's
you.
been a narrative that's going on. You know?
Yeah.
Do I agree with it? No, I'm like, he told his truth. But at the same time, do you really think his only truth of only one white person was Harvey Weinstein? Harvey Weinstein didn't say nothing about him. He said he exposing systems. I mean, it ain't only just black men that's doing dirty deeds.
So you think so you're saying that you think it's pretty biased then. You think it's biased and he's not being inclusive with all of the other kind of systemic issues that plagues our community too. So he just kind of like pointed at, or it just seems as if he's just targeting the black folks.
Yeah, I could see that, but I'm more on Cat Williams' side. But
Okay.
I'm saying that I could see the opposite side where I'm like, oh, that is understandable. Instead of me shitting on him like, nah, bro, y'all tripping it. No, I understand that because it was only black men, except for Harvey Weinstein.
And Gary Owens.
He was bigging up Gary Owens.
Mm.
He bigged up Gary Owens. I'm talking about because
He said he couldn't cross over.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I'm like, if Cat Williams in a sense was saying he's trying to expose the system, it's not only black men that's doing faulty shit in the system. And I watched the Steve Harvey interview on Club Shay Shay, and I didn't hear Steve Harvey say anything about Cat Williams.
I had to go back and listen to. I haven't watched
He
all of the
didn't.
interviews. I watched. I seen it says, but I didn't see.
Said something for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, it said definitely
Steve
said
didn't.
something.
Steve really talked about his family life.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was like the base of his.
Yeah. Interesting. And
Yeah.
so, where do you think? You know, and I heard. I think Steve Harvey has been getting some pushback because of some of the things he's been standing on and been pretty vocal on, and I think it was, you know, the pendulum swings, right? And so what do we do now? Well, I mean, where are we right now in the state of comedy, right? Do we just, you know, push off this whole narrative? Because he mentioned, you know, he mentioned Kevin Hart. That's my man, right? You know, and you know, he's from Philly. Shout out to Kevin Hart. Shout out to the Plastic Cup Boys. But you know what? You know, what do we do? You know, you got him saying things about Kevin Hart, and you know, he swallowed the pill, or he with the, you know.
Well, I need to interject.
Go
Do
ahead.
you know what Cat Williams just did with Kevin Hart's ex-wife?
Nah.
She's going to be on
Going
tour.
on-
with
Oh,
him.
Tory Hart. Yeah, I heard
Paired up
that.
with
Yeah.
Tory Hart.
Yeah.
Now that
They're
right
doing a tour.
and I know Tory because we, you
Yeah,
know,
we- yeah,
personally.
Yeah.
I just was like,
Yeah.
I side
Wish-
out that
yeah.
on
what-
But
her.
we
yeah.
need. I was about to say,
Well, I was
we
gonna say,
gotta
what's
call
your-
her out though. Like,
That's what I'm
But
saying.
why?
Like,
Hold on, time out.
Yeah.
Why call her out though? She ain't said nothing yet.
No, that's true. That's
She
true.
didn't say
You just be
That's
like,
true.
I'm gonna come with the funnies. I ain't gotta say nothing about
You're
Burger.
right. You're right. 100%. You're right. You're right. How
but isn't there loyalty? Like
that I was
was
gonna
my
I was
thing,
gonna go
loyalty.
there. I was gonna go there because if, but again, if
What's
if
the
you're my
loyalty
ex-
on, though?
Yeah,
but
I
it's
mean,
his,
it
but
is-
it's his loyalty with her. Like, you know, that's what her thing might be. That, you know, you don't know.
I think Kevin already said that he's, and I was going to do this story later, but I'm not now. So
We still want to hear
we
it.
still wanna hear it. Yeah.
because we already talking about it. So he's already pretty much like, you know, everybody got to get their bag is basically what he's saying. So he's pretty much like okay with it. She already toured or with Michael Blackson. So
Oh, she does.
She toured with Michael Blackson.
Yeah.
yeah, years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
We
yeah,
covered-
yeah,
they were
yeah.
together.
That was years
Yeah,
ago.
we were
right,
there.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
did.
So it's just like I think he, you know, she's a smart woman. I'm just say that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tory.
Yeah. I mean, if one thing I have heard about Cat Williams is he take care of his people though. That has been substantiated and supported over and over again. He truly take care of his people. But you know, with the Tory Hart thing, I think I'm on the fence because I do believe there should be some sense of loyalty.
To your family.
But yeah, to your fan, like that's she has kids with Kevin
Kevin.
Hart, right? It's not like, you know, she that's just his old John, right?
Yeah.
That's, you know, like they were married, they got 2 kids, right? That they co-parent.
Yeah.
So it's little rough for me to think like, yo, I know sometimes you want to call me for a little extra. You expect me to support you when you are
Rolling with the
riding with
ops.
my ops. Like for me, it's kind of hard to, but I do get it. Like we gotta address. Cat, go ahead.
At
Sizzle.
the same time, people were because I've been seeing people come for her neck, like
Oh, yeah? I
and
ain't
that's
see that, yeah.
that's not cool. Some of the stuff they've been saying, but at the same time, they were like, "How come Kevin didn't put her on? Like, how come he didn't have her touring with him when he was doing his stuff?"
No, nah.
That would have been
That's
crazy.
too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, why can't she go ahead and do what she's doing since he ain't let her tour with him?
True. But one thing that she did say, remember, we interviewed her. One thing that she did say was like, yo, you know, he's a supportive father. And when you say that, that's a little deeper than just him just showing up for the kids. That means it's a bag that's being given. So I'm sure that, I mean, you're talking about probably one of the richest comedians on the planet right now. You don't think that he's truly like looking out? It does that. I mean, it just, you got my kids. You don't think that he's looking out. So that's one of the things. So when you say loyalty, you know, you got to question like, yo, what was really good?
What do you think
Yeah, 'cause-
his feelings are?
The beginning, like when they first split, it was rough. It was rocky, right?
Yeah.
But as of now, as of today, they're supposed to be in a better place,
That's
a good
right.
place. So now it's like that move could ruffle feathers again if he
Yeah,
if he
absolutely.
feels some type of way about it.
It's going to ruffle feathers. Come on, Cat Williams. Cat Williams just ished on Kevin Hart publicly.
Yeah.
40 something million people saw that.
Yeah.
And then she goes on tour with Cat Williams.
That's
Right.
what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Not
That's why I
only
said the
that,
royalty.
not only that, right? You pretty much said that, remember, you got my kids. One of my kids is a boy, right? And you're on TV publicly saying your father's wearing a dress, cuz. That's a little rough. That's a little rough, right? However you slice and dice that. It would be different if his son maybe identified a different way. Then maybe you could say, all right, but his son doesn't.
Yeah.
Right, and so that's a little tricky situation. I don't know. That's a
But
little tricky situation.
at the same time, I mean, what would you say about people saying that comedians should have this thick skin? Like he
That's
should
true,
be
too.
able, like since they can dish stuff out, they should be able
Nah,
to take it.
That's true. That's why I'm not a comedian. But what you think about that? Come on. That's why I ain't a comedian.
I mean, I just think that it's gonna ruffle feathers. It just look bad. It's like that feel like a war tactic. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Cat Williams know what he doing. You know what I mean? Tori Hart, whatever. She knows she doing to. She's like, oh, okay. Oh, y'all just beefing? Oh. And then it boosts up her profile too. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If Kevin Hart been a supportive dad, then I'm like, yo, you looking bad out here, Tori. Like, why would you? You know? But let me ask you.
Sierra in future, it would be all right.
Sierra in future. Hold on, let me find. Hold on one second. Hold on,
like
no,
that.
I gotta put you in jail. I gotta put you in jail for a minute. Go directly.
Nah, but okay. Do y'all believe what Kevin Hart said about Cat Williams in 2018 on The Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
He said Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart said, Cat Williams, you were put in that position. You were the guy.
Yeah.
You were getting all the
take the
calls,
roles,
and then you screwed it up, and that the basically like the companies didn't want to work with him because he was getting high, and he wasn't showing up to work.
That's when he had Tiffany Haddish on there with him, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that one.
But the other part of that also is you can't Cat Williams, and I'm proud. Cat Williams is in my top five of all times, right? And so you can't, and this is just to push back on Cat. You can't say that Kevin Hart was just because he was in Philly. Kevin Hart was working. Like he just didn't become famous out of nowhere. No, he's been working.
But that's what Kat
said,
said.
yeah.
He said
Really?
that. He said
All
the
your
thing is,
work.
everybody think like you just was this overnight born in L.A. No, you didn't come to L.A. and just get this. You was doing all this stuff on the East Coast first,
Yeah.
and then came to L.A. So don't make it seem like you just popped overnight in L.A. You had already been doing stuff.
But when did he just say he just popped out of nowhere in LA? Because he's been touring. That's what Kevin Hart has been doing as a comedian, touring. So he's not
Prior
just
to the tours.
prior to the tours, he's been in Philly, right? Delaware, Jersey, he's been doing the tri-state.
Yeah.
Right? And so you're talking about just like LA, it's people in LA, I'm sure. I mean, you over there, Kamal. It's people that that ain't over here in Philly that we don't know, but I'm sure they funny, right?
Yeah.
And so most people kind of do their regional touring until like they get a good look or something. Somebody put them on the road with them.
Yeah. But he was calling him a plant though. Like he's like,
That's
how
what-
you
but
get
He's
that's
not
over
saying Kevin
here?
said that.
No, I know that.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just saying
Cat
that
Williams said he a plant.
yeah, that's where I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. Come on, what's your take?
I mean, why did Kevin Hart respond like that though?
I know.
That sounded so plantish. I'm sorry. He might not be a plant, but that was such a plant response. Like, yeah, get the heck out your heart, dog. But check out my new movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Starring everywhere in the United States.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, come on, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
nah, for
say
sure.
some jokes, be funny. Cat Williams opened the door up for you to be like, to roast him. Like,
Yeah.
why didn't nobody roast Cat Williams?
Because they can't. Who could roast Cat Williams other than Dave Chappelle?
Just some I know.
No,
I'm sorry.
no, I gotta push back on you, bro. Who can go? Is nobody on the planet that can roast Cat Williams. Who?
That's one
But let
person he
me
didn't
ask
talk
you this.
about.
Hold on.
Dave Chappelle. He didn't talk about him.
I
He
know,
did.
In a bad- in a negative
but
way.
no,
No,
yeah,
because they have a relationship.
they got a
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead, come on. What you gonna say, bro? I'm sorry.
Okay, so a whack rapper always goes up against a great rapper if the great rapper disses him, right?
Yeah.
Cat Williams showed us, comedy is competitive.
Yeah.
Why don't y'all be competitive? I open up the door for y'all to talk some ish. Y'all comics. Y'all talk about taking the high road, look at my movies.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we don't
No,
want
he
more.
also said he kind of came and said, "Look, when you see a circus, you don't
Yeah, he
entertain
did
it.
say you
you
don't
watch
entertain the
it.
circus, you watch it. Yeah.
So it's like a clown type of way. But honestly, when Cat did what he didn't roast Kevin. He just gave series of events that took place that made Kevin look bad, and I think that should have been addressed. Like, Ludacris even did the diss tape, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
Like,
It sounded good. He didn't really diss him. It sounded good though. It
It
was,
was a freestyle.
yeah.
Yeah. You wanted to say something? No, I just think it's a shame because I'm looking at. He said something about DL Hughley. DL Hughley, he gave DL Hughley his props though. DL Hughley would have probably came at. I don't know. I don't see.
Yeah,
any,
he said DL was the only real one
Yeah.
when he was talking about the
Yeah.
tour.
Yeah.
But there's been so many comedians who have come on and have confirmed a lot of the stuff Kat was saying, even down to how horrible, like what Steve was trying to do with Bernie Mac, and how he was trying to stun on him and was jealous because Bernie was better.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey did say something after this, but he just made a bunch of jokes. Pretty much, he didn't roast them, but he made a bunch of jokes, pretty much saying that he was broke.
Yeah. I think Jamie Foxx would have gave him a run. Jamie
Yeah,
Foxx is funny.
Yeah, James.
Jamie Foxx is funny. Jamie Foxx would have gave him some work. He would have gave him some work. That's probably about the only one I think. I'm looking at.
Can I ask something real
Yeah,
quick?
for sure. Go ahead, bro.
How do y'all feel about Steve Harvey and his the clip with him and Monique? Since we on Steve Harvey right now. Did y'all hear that clip?
yeah.
Yeah, the old you talking
Yeah.
about the old one, right? When she
Was
went on
talking
his
about,
show.
I'm in the money game, F the integrity game.
Yeah. Yep.
I-
That's where that's when I stopped really. I wasn't a fan of Steve Harvey anyway. When it was like, act like a woman, treat like a man, something, whatever that was. But for me, he was just too much for me. He was just a little too much for me. So I wasn't a fan of him. But that thing with Monique, I think Monique never got the flowers that she deserved. And I think that he could have stood up more, because at that point, Steve Harvey was up. He was what it was. Like, nobody was bigger than Steve Harvey at that point.
Yeah.
And he could have took that time or that position and be like, you know what? I got you. Kind of like what 50 Cent did for Monique.
Right.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey could have did that at the point. So shout out to 50 Cent at that time. But Steve Harvey lost me with that. I wasn't, but I got you, bro. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. It's kind of go back to me with like what MLK was saying. You feel me? Kind of circle back around. Is like at that point, Steve Harvey could have not only elevate, you feel me, black people, but a black woman defending her.
That's
Right. She getting short paid.
That's right.
It's BS. Like, bro, you could have knocked off so many stigmas that we have as a black community. Because
right.
you know how us as black people, we hold in high regard celebrities, comedians, actors. At that point, you could have been like, you know what? I got your back, Monique. At least publicly.
That's right. Yeah.
Private, you could be like, for that. Publicly.
That's why I was glad Monique called him out.
Yeah. I was glad that she called him. I was actually glad she called everyone out, which
She called him out on his show.
Yeah. But she called Charlamagne the God out on the show. She called Oprah. She called Tyler Perry. The thing that frustrated me, since we're on the topic of the sisters, Lee Daniels. Since we're on the topic of the sisters, Taraji P. Henson just came out very upset. I questioned, where was she when Monique did the same thing? When Monique came out, I didn't hear anything with Taraji P. Henson. Not only that, she said the identical thing that Monique said. If I give in now, what would that do for the other black women that come behind me?
Right. Again, that's that MLK. The measure of a man is not where he stands at times of comfort.
That's right.
But times of controversy. When
Yeah.
everything is cool in your world, you ain't gonna come and your house ain't on fire. Everybody else's is.
Yeah.
Why you not going over there to try to bring
right.
the fire extinguisher to help them?
That's right.
That's pretty much what they doing.
And you had a lot of people that were like, when Monique was saying this, how come nobody came to her aid? How come nobody supported her? Like she's saying the same exact thing.
Yeah.
I don't
And-
read. Go ahead.
Yeah. Like they was quick to kind of label her like, oh, she's difficult to deal with. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
They blackballed her.
She said, "What do you mean when you say she said the same thing?" Because I don't remember Monique's issue being, "I haven't got a raise in my salary in the last 5 years, and they're not paying me my worth."
No.
Monique's
Yeah, it was the pay
Monique's
equity.
issue was, "I did my job. I worked on the movie. Now y'all want me to do extra work by going around the country to do." To promote the movie and do tours, and y'all are not paying me for that.
That was only one. That was
That's
only
right.
one of
Her-
the
yeah,
issue. One of
Netflix was
Netflix.
another.
That was the Netflix
Yeah.
piece
Yeah.
that was similar in terms of. I think it was
No,
Amy
that was
Schumer.
that was with
Amy
Schumer.
Amy Schumer. So she was saying that the other white comedians in my category
are getting more
are getting
paid more than
right,
me on
right,
Netflix.
right. And so that's what she was pushing back. So when she was saying that, a lot of the black folks was like, you know, who are you to be asking X, Y? No, she is real close to it. What is it called? EGOT? I think, I think she can. Is she already EGOT?
No.
Is she?
I
No.
don't think
Okay,
so.
but I believe if anyone could do it, she can. And so, where was the support when she came out there? So I just say that to say that Taraji P. Henson said something very similar to that, but she wasn't around, or she didn't jump out and say like, "Hey, no, what's up with Monique? Let's support Monique."
The
Go ahead.
other thing she did is that when she went on the Oprah Winfrey show, it was almost like she felt like she was backdoored by Oprah Winfrey
Yeah,
because of
yeah.
her family stuff that she had shared with
That's
Oprah,
right, with the
and then
mom.
and with
Yeah,
the different things with her siblings, and she's like, Oprah knew certain things, but for views and clicks, she still allowed this on her show. So she called that out. So all these things that she calls out, you got your colleagues that say, hey, you're my sister, and nobody's speaking up to help. So it's almost like, well, now we see, I think 50 is doing the same thing kind of with Taraji.
Shout out to 50. I like that 50 kind of in the vein that you're talking about, Kamal. When you're there, you're supposed to put your people on. You're supposed to put your people on. Right now, 50 is doing it. And he has done it, and he has been doing it.
I was the only black manager in my department, and I was like, this got to change.
Yeah, no.
And before I left,
Where was you at?
I'm not going to say, but I was the only black person in my department, and I was like, no. And we did a hiring event, and I brought on 3 people that looked like me that was able to be like, thank you.
So when you think about, they talk about, the media and Hollywood and the gatekeepers, all the stuff we've been hearing about lately. Speaking on when you just said nobody speaks up, and even with Monique saying to Steve Harvey, you didn't speak up for me. You
Right.
didn't stand up for me. Because when the stuff hit the fan, everybody's trying to wait to see which side the chips are going to fall. Because
Self.
if it's all about themselves. They don't want to interrupt their bag. So it's like, oh, if I start, vouching for this person, and then they, start to blackball them, they might start to blackball me too. So even though I agree with them, I'm going to stay closed mouth because I don't want my bag interrupted.
And that's
that's
every
why
sector.
people don't say anything.
Every sector, media, sports. I mean, at Walmart probably.
It's
The
all about the bottom
employees.
line.
Yeah, that's it.
Nobody wants to interrupt their bottom
So
line.
I want to throw a curveball in here, right? Because we talked about Taraji and Monique. What about girl? Forgot about her, right? Cat Williams mentioned her also, right? And pretty much said that she wasn't funny, right?
Who, Tiffany Haddish?
Yeah, Haddish. I hate to mention her because I like her. I like her. I feel like, I like Tiffany Haddish. I feel like she doesn't get her props but people feel like she isn't funny.
She's not.
Well, he said that she did Girls Trip, and then next thing you know, she's just this comedian. When he like, did you think she wrote Girls Trip?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
So what's your take on Tiffany Haddish?
I ain't seen her. I don't watch her movies or nothing. I can't even tell you if she's funny or not. Like, only time I've seen her is in social media, and it's like, Aries Spears. It's either that or
the
she
Aries
fuck with
Spears.
comments,
Yeah. She played
or
with
she
Tracy
drunk.
Morgan.
That's it. That's the only time I hear about Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's funny or not. I wish I would knew. Like, I wish they showed clips of her comedy stuff, but I don't be seeing none of that.
Shout out to Tiffany.
You don't gotta wait for nobody to show clips. You can go on and watch her stand-ups. But are you really going to?
I know, right?
I mean,
He said, I mean, shout out to Tiffany. I like Tiffany Haddish. Shout out to Tiffany. Come on the show. Come on, we talk weekly. So right. So let's talk. So before time flew that
I've
quick.
seen Tiffany Haddish live, and she was booed off stage.
she was.
I digress.
She was booed a few times. Real quick,
I
come on.
saw her with Deion Cole.
So
he was amazing.
I wanna because I wanna make sure that we get Kamal. So what's next for you, my brother? And one thing we say on the show is that you always welcome to come back. I like you, bro. So you're more than welcome to come back. Come co-host sometime. Jump on the show with us and talk a little bit. But what's
let me
going
know.
on? Yeah, absolutely. We definitely gonna have you on. So why don't you tell us real quick how they can get in contact with you, how they can find you, and all that good old stuff.
Look, everywhere, all my social medias, the Tube, Twitch, all that. Kamal Johnson Network. I keep it simple. I keep it easy. You can find me there. I guess I'm Googleable. I Google myself and I'll pop up. Kamal Johnson Network. That's where you can find me. That's basically it.
Before I let you go, right? Your Mount Rushmore. Tell me your comedians you putting on Mount Rushmore.
Bernie Mac. Somebody said that I remind them of Bernie Mac too. I was like, God damn, that's an honor. Shout out to you. Damn. Bernie Mac.
Okay.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, definitely.
Who else? Man, Marlon Wayans. I think they're hilarious. You feel me?
Yeah.
And man, it is a toss up between Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor. Damn, hilarious. Raunchy, but hilarious.
Yeah, that's what. All right, so if you had to put a female up there, you had to put a lady up there, who would that be? If you had to.
If I had to put a lady up there, it would have to be Leslie Jones. I think she's funny as hell.
Okay.
She was hilarious.
Okay. Okay.
You know, or Wanda Sykes.
I was about to say Wanda Sykes, dude.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Go ahead,
Hey,
go ahead.
F that person out there that went on my YouTube and said I look like Wanda Sykes. God damn. Wanda Sykes hilarious. All right. But before I get out of here, I appreciate y'all. You feel me?
no doubt.
Y'all gained a new fan too. I've been watching y'all stuff. You feel me? And I hope y'all blow up. And you know what I mean? I appreciate y'all for having me on here. You feel me?
Oh my God, we really appreciate you. And one thing we say is once you come on the show, you're a friend to the show. But I really like you, man. Why don't you come and co-host a couple times? Just jump on. You know, anytime we had something, I'll reach out. I'll make sure that Sheila reach out to you and tell you, like, yo, come on, we want you on co-host with us. How about that?
Hell yeah. Just let me know. I'm here. You know what I mean?
My God, well, we really appreciate you, my friend. And this your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful.
Lauren Sizzle.
And the beautiful.
Classy Lady Spark.
And the beautiful.
Lady Esther.
And my guy.
Kamal Johnson.
That's right. And I don't want y'all to go anywhere. When we come back, we got another dynamic interview. I'm your boy Charles Gregory. We'll be right back after this.
What's going on, you guys? This is Bridget Kelly, and you are locked into We Talk Weekly.
We Talk Weeklies After the Talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies After the Talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle.
and the beautiful
Classy Ladies Sparkle.
and the beautiful.
Lady Esther.
And we are here with another dynamic gentleman with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. Classy lady, why don't you let us know who do we have today?
Today, introducing Dr. J. Alexander Martin is a distinguished authority and acclaimed author as he unveils the empowering secret of For Us, By Us. Dr. J. Alexander Martin's influence extends beyond academia, leading the iconic billion-dollar FUBU collection and championed various ventures that revolutionized fashion and empowered Black communities. Y'all already know what to do. Give a warm We Talk Weekly welcome to Mr. Dr. J. Alexander Martin.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Good evening. How are you?
How are you, my friend? How are you?
Welcome.
I'm good. I'm actually just celebrating the birthday, so I'm gonna be a little bit of
Wow.
hungover
happy
a little bit.
birthday.
Don't-
Happy
don't mind me.
birthday.
In the honor of what is it? And what's the words? I forget. But Stevie Wonder, Martin Luther King is that weekend. Happy birthday to you. Happy.
No doubt. Yeah,
Appreciate
I wish I had that song. You know we got a black version now. Yeah, we got a black version Happy Birthday now. That's the one we gotta sing, right? And so interesting enough that you came on, and I want to talk a little bit about the history of FUBU and all of the the growth that it has done from the beginning. I heard some stories, and ironically enough, that I'll tell this little story. During the time of a campaign that you guys were doing, I was really heavy in New York. I was a wardrobe stylist. You guys at that moment, and you can kind of correct me if I'm wrong, you guys at that moment was even thinking about purchasing Coogee at that point. Was that right? Something like that?
Yeah,
was in-
we actually did.
Yeah, there you go. And a lot of people don't know that. And I was happy at that moment because I was like, yes, because Coogee during that time was huge, right? But we all knew, I think it was an Australian brand or something like
Yes.
that. And we was happy to see that you guys kind of like took that and started running with it. And we could talk a little bit about that story because I want you to talk a little bit more about that. But I want to start from the beginning. And how did a dynamic company like that form? Because it was for you guys, right? That's how it
Yes.
started. It was for you guys. And the story goes that, and this is like my stylist had my, image set, but the story goes is that LL Cool J, right, was doing his little piece, right? And just because he was cool with one of y'all, he was like, I'm going to just throw in a lyric about FUBU, For Us, By Us, and they didn't even know that was even a promotion at that point. So I want to talk a little bit about your relationship with LL Cool J and how FUBU started.
Okay, so I'll start from the beginning, like very, 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 very beginning. So a guy, of course, everybody knows by the name of Damon John, it's on Shark Tank. He was actually making some hats, and I kind of wanted to be in the business. I just came home from Desert Storm, Desert Shield in the Navy. I got on a medical discharge, and I was able to go to school through because of the military through something called a GI Bill, and I was going to fashion school. So when I met up with Damon again, because we went to junior high school and high school together, I saw that he had a hat and it had a label on it, and I was like, wow, that's hot. The label's hot. So he was like, well, I kind of stopped, selling. I sold a few. I stopped. I moved on to something else. I was like, well, no. Let's go back to look at this again. So I said, hey, listen, I'm going to fashion school. Let me take this and turn this to a brand. And we didn't look back since. I got about $6,000 from an accident that I had, and I gave him $5,000 and said, let's start this company. And $6 billion later, we're here.
Wow.
Fantastic. So six billion later. Shout out to FUBU. How the connection between LL and Fubu, how did that, relationship start? And, can you talk a little bit about that story and the commercial that he did and,
Okay.
kind of clear that story up?
All right. So basically, this is how it happened. LL was a childhood friend of ours. Both of ours, Damon and I. My relationship was a little different because LL's LL used to be in a rap group. A lot of people don't know that. And one of his best friend, which was in his rap group, was his brother was my best friend, and I was in a rap group with. So I would always kind of come over to my, go to my friend's house, and he would be there, and they'd be rapping and things like that. And you know, and so we built a relationship from there. As far as Damon and the other guys, they would go on tour with him, and almost like roadies and hang out. And when they would drive to like, let's say Virginia or the neighboring states, and they would go on tour and because enjoy the music. Because again, I remember LL, is coming from Queens, Farmers Boulevard, where we all grew up at. Now, fast forward to that, we had started the clothing line since then, and LL, of course, was the hottest thing smoking. And we asked him, hey, listen, could you, wear our stuff? And he wound up saying, okay, no problem. I'll wear it. But, if you guys get big, come back and hook me up, circle back and hook me up. I was like, oh, not a problem. So he wound up doing a couple of things for us, did an ad, a few things here and there. And so he kind of was signed to us, but he wasn't. Because we were making money, but we weren't making nearly the money that we were making, years later. So one day, the Gap approached him and said, hey, listen, we want you to come do, an ad for us. So he was like, okay, well, listen, I'll do the ad, but I have to wear my hat. Mm. And he wasn't wearing the hat. Now, unbeknownst to them, in the rap, in the lyrics that he wrote, he also put For Us By Us. So basically that kind of put us on the map. So it was a national commercial that actually ran twice, at 2 times. And it did very well for Gap. Of course, it did very well for us as well.
Yeah. No doubt, no doubt. And I wanted you to tell that story because I don't think a lot of people knew that story. And I think it was so ingenious and so genius because I don't think you even knew that he was going to do that, did you?
No, we knew. He told us.
Oh, okay,
he told
no
us.
doubt. Yeah.
He told us. Of course, he told us, but they didn't know what it is because again, it's all the marketing demographics. They're the people sitting in the room didn't really know. They just know that LL was the biggest thing. They didn't really know what they were really listening to. Right. So For Us By Us on the low could have been anything to them. It was like, oh, it just sounds great. Yeah. But in turn, it was a rallying cry and a pretty much a commercial for us as well.
Yeah, I know they was like, oh, I wish we would have known. It's too late now.
Well, somebody wound up saying, hey, oh, by the way, that is a brand and that's his brand.
Right.
But they really wanted them, so they were going to use it anyway, regardless. You know what I mean? Because again, the Gap, there was clothing out. Of course, the reason why we started because there wasn't any clothing really for us, that were made for us with our, style and the things that we like. So in turn, the Gap was like, hey, well, let's use somebody like LL, and maybe we'll get those, get those customers.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Let's fast forward. We're looking at organizations and companies. They normally, once they get to a certain level, they normally like acquire different, other brands when it comes to what they're doing. Let's talk a little bit about the other brands that you're working with, specifically Coogi though, because I remember coming up into the showroom and literally, I forgot where I was. I know it's like on a 50th floor, something crazy, right? And I was like, hey, Coogi, we love Coogi. And it's like, it was just been acquired by Fubu. So I want you to talk a little bit about that idea to acquire such a dynamic brand, but all of the other brands that you're working with today.
Well, again, naturally when you're in business and you become a juggernaut like we were, it behooves you to go out there and search for other brands because again, your brand is always not going to be hot all the time. Right. Like, it's like a bell curve with business. It's going to go up, it's going to go down. So as our brand, started kind of subsiding, you needed to find other brands that you can offset, your balance, offset, your balance sheet, let's just say. So again, Coogee again, like you said, it was a brand that was definitely known in the hood and definitely known to all of us. Super expensive,
Yeah.
and we just wanted something, that we can take and put our stamp on it. Again, Coogee looked like Coogee, which is the sweaters, but then again, how could you translate that into sportswear, which they never really had? So we
Yeah.
were able to do that and do that in a good way, a big way.
I have a question. Um, I'm going to say Dr. Martin. You have your PhD and an author. I wanted to know more about how you transitioned. I know you said you were in the military and then with fashion. Tell us more about how that journey led you into getting your PhD as well as being an author.
Well, the military, it's there's a couple of slogans that uh, really like define what going into the military is, and it's paying attention to detail. And then two, it's not necessarily more of a slogan, but more of a way of life. Because basically, when you're young, 19, 20, whatever, what age you kind of go into, you pretty much a young kid. And when you go, like you think that the world is just your block or wherever you live. Like that's it. You don't really know anything about anything else. Like, so you get there and it teaches you discipline, but then you're learning and meeting different people and you're traveling. Now, what I'm saying traveling, I'm not saying, okay, listen, you're going to state to state. Now you're going to different countries. So you wound up kind of uh, broadening your mind, I should say. Uh, when you broaden your mind and your outlook on life, on just or how people dress. But for me, what I would do is I would look and kind of see how people dress and how what they like and why they like it. I'm sitting next to a guy that when we go out on one guy may have boots on, a cowboy boots on. My other guy might have on Timberlands. The other guy might have on, some other kind of boot. But we all the same, but we're all different. So and lastly, what happens is if you do something wrong, somebody dies. So with that, I always keep that in mind. So I always want everything to be perfect because if in my mind, if I'm not perfect, it just doesn't work. Like it's not just it just doesn't work. It's more than that. It's like someone dies, and that's just how I look at life and look at things. So I could always be responsible for whatever I'm doing. Um, and in fashion, of course, when you travel to different countries, you see different things. You see, fashion from a different, viewpoint. Because again, you're 19, 20, you don't know anything. All you know is what, you wear. And then I've learned to go to different places and learn that, okay, you can spot someone and know exactly where they're from what they wear.
Yeah.
So a lot of these little things that kind of just you pick up and you use, and in turn, how I was able to kind of transition my military life into, fashion. Because again, it's funny. When I went in the military, I asked them, did they have anything in fashion? And the guy said, well, you can go to school, but he didn't lie, but he sort of lied because I really couldn't go to school while I was in the military. I had to wait till I got out.
So you had a strong interest in television. Can you tell us what led to the Forest Bias Network?
Well, to be honest, after a while, everything as far as marketing concerned, everything was about videos, music videos, music videos, music videos. That's where we came up at. And that was like mini commercials. Every time you see a video, it plays, hundreds of times a day and your clothes on there. And after a while, a lot of artists started getting their own brand instead of, wearing mine per se, which was great. And it just made the business bigger and bigger and bigger, which I love. But it limited me when it came to marketing. So I'm like, well, what do I have to do? What's the next thing? I started researching, and I said, well, he who controls the media controls the world.
That's right.
So I said, all right, I'm gonna have to find a way to be able to market my clothes and get it out there on my own. And because magazines and billboards started getting really, 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 really expensive, to like the blogs now, which are expensive to actually advertise on as well. So I said, well, how can I be self-contained and market and for not that costly? So what I wound up doing is saying, let me start my own streaming platform, hence there is Forest Bias Network.
Awesome.
What pivotal person in your family was like a person that just, really was able to water you and pour into you during your journey?
Well, I could probably say, my mother and father at the same time. Me being adopted, I had kind of always had a sense of, okay, I got to get it done. I'm gonna get it done anyway, because I'm more of a loner than an extrovert at that point. But my father became vice president before he retired of a company called Depository Trust Company, which was rare, especially for a black man at that time. Um, and my mother always pretty much had her own business. So those things, as you grow up and you just see that, you always see those positive role models. My father worked super hard, like I said, became vice president, and he actually started as a clerk. So you see drive, you see dedication, you see work ethic, and then you see, as far as my mother, that entrepreneurial spirit to always have her own business.
If I was to ask you, who is Jay Alexander, what would you say?
Um, it's funny because again, for me, I'm always a work in progress because such a visionary. I'm always thinking vision.
Right.
So I'm more vision than goal. I don't really use the word goal. So for me to say, who is that person? It's still a work in progress. So I can keep telling you what I'm looking for or what I'm looking to be, which is just a good person and someone that that can be counted on, and someone that is like I said, a role model for other people. Because I never look at myself as I'm it, because I'm not it.
Yeah.
I'm just a reflection of what God made me, and I'm here for whatever He tells me to do. So again, who am I? I'm just a guy on a mission, just trying to do whatever I'm supposed to do and do it the right way.
Yeah, it has been a conversation based around black media, right? And amplifying, more black entrepreneurs and, us having more of a platform to offer entrepreneurs, to offer our people to have a voice in the community for the people who are quote unquote voiceless, right? And I say that very loosely because all of us have a voice, right? But just as amplifying that message, right?
Mhm.
With that as an understanding, what do you think we can do as black media, not We Talk Weekly specifically, but what having a conversation with the gentleman who we had prior and talking about Dr. Martin Luther King and us being able to work with each other better, what do you think we can do as, a black community to, have a larger voice in I won't say in competition, but in aside from the legacy media, what do you think we should do or what we can do better to better support people like you and our other entrepreneurs that's trying to make way in this space?
I think that's kind of a bad judgment on us per se. I think
Right.
that with the rise of these podcasts, I mean,
Right.
every day is a new podcast.
Yeah.
I think that we're all trying to get our voices out and all trying, and we all supporting each other in that aspect. But
Right.
I think that what's bringing it down and making it look the way you're referring to, is more so the fact that it's all I don't want to say negative,
Right.
because or I just say more judgmental.
Uh,
Everything is about, okay, let me get a soundbite.
mhm.
And those sound bites may be, just to
That's
get
right.
a view or a click or whatever, or a subscribe, excuse me, or a subscriber. And I think that we need to, uh, if you kind of dull that noise and bring up more of what you're talking about, the more business, the more what other people are doing, the entrepreneur spirit and all that stuff, and bring that up. I think bring that up louder, then
Yeah.
maybe, we will progress. But again, you got to take it for what it is. I mean, it's almost like, there's always going to be good and there's always going to be evil. There's always going to be bad and good.
Right.
But you just kind of have to weigh it, and you have to balance it out. And I think that if we start if we start collectively starting more and more of us come out and people, because again, it's about what people like. Because you really
Yeah.
can't. For instance, even when I have one show called Side Chicks of LA. Now the name is very controversial and racy, but it's when you really watch it. Of course, there's going to be cattiness and stuff like that. But there are times that you really sit back and listen to the woman and what she has to say about her situation, and you start getting into it and you start listening. And it's like, okay, but I also have another show, and it's a big, huge family out of Texas. And it's weird because I did a test and I put out a trailer, and one of the trailers was, them fighting and going crazy, doing crazy stuff, right? That got 100,000 views. But then the next trailer I posted, it was them being a loving family, of singing and dancing and having a good time, and that got 20,000 views. So it's like it's what people want to see, and I think people's eyes are getting trained. They're just trained to like a train wreck,
Yeah.
and it's generational. And I think that as it subsides and people just got tired, everything's a renaissance. It's gonna go round and round and round. People are just gonna get tired of it, and they're gonna want more of the good stuff than they want the bad stuff. I mean, if you look at what's it called? What's the guys called? The two guys. Darn, I forget their names. I forget their name, the name of the group, but they go around, they speak, and they talk. They do huge seminars about financial literacy and business and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's starting. It's just that it just has to catch on a little more.
Yeah, I think the gentlemen that you're talking about, I think Dane Dash was helped them out a little bit. I forgot their name. It'll probably come to me later. What's the legacy that you want to leave?
Um, you know, I don't have any kids, right? So it's hard for me to even talk about a legacy when I need, when I don't have any kids. But I do have
Never know, might be a lucky lady listening to this and start knocking on your door.
Here we go. Oh, keep it over here. No, I say that to say I have two godchildren
Okay.
that I've been kind of in their lives since they were pretty much kids, and now they're full-fledged adults with kids and everything of their own. But I say that to say everything I do is not for me; it's for someone else,
Right.
for others. So if I could just keep that road and keep doing that, I think that's the legacy.
Good. So you mentioned some of the shows that you had on your network. Let's expand upon that a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about some of the shows that just to get them a little airtime. What shows are that you have on your network, and where are you trying to take that? Yeah.
Well, again, I just mentioned one is Side Chicks of
Side
LA.
Chicks.
That's the one that we just debuted, and the other one is the Williams family, and that's on the reality side, and then we have a few. We have a movie coming out in theaters called The Biggest Boss.
Okay.
I don't want to totally spoil that, so I'll leave. I just call it. We have a movie coming out called The Biggest Boss. It's big. It's a big movie.
Hold on.
I was going to AMC theaters.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Projected date is in February,
Okay.
towards the end of February. And then we have a number of movies on deck. You can go to Cineverse.com, Cineverse.com, or Cineverse TV, and that's what the platform that we're on. And we have quite a bit of a slate of content, movies, reality shows, and the like.
If there was a perfect situation for you, what would that look like in terms of all of the things that you have done, all of the things that you're doing now? What would be the perfect situation for you?
Well, the perfect situation, to be honest, is happening now as I speak. To be honest,
Yeah.
and I can almost announce, but I can't announce it. But I almost want to announce it.
Come on, we want to hear something. Come on, something. We give us
So
exclusive.
I'm working on a film studio deal, in which building is the building is in Camden, New Jersey,
Okay.
and I have about 45 days for it to go through the process, and if everything works out, then I'll have a 311,000 square foot studio.
Wow.
Yeah. Fantastic.
So he's going to be close to Philly.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
that's right. Because
Awesome.
hopefully,
Now, actually, to be honest, I can throw a rock at Philly.
there you go.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
where it is. It's right on the water.
Oh, fantastic.
Wow.
We throw back too. So shout out to Philly. No, that's my whole time. So look, so all of the things that you're doing, let us know if there's anything you think we can do to support kind of the moves, especially when you're doing your movie release. We'll come out on red carpet, we'll set up. Let us know, what we can do. And we'll definitely reach out. I do a lot of wardrobing with some movies and some magazines. So yeah, let me give us your PR person so I can reach out, get some stuff sent down
Okay.
here.
I also want to know could we find the book? The
On
Strength
Amazon?
of
I
Us
was gonna
Fast.
say.
Yeah, if you go to Amazon, just kind of Google it on Amazon, you can find it. Or my website is the letter J, alexandermartin.com. And everything I'm doing as far as social media and everything is on there.
Yeah.
And one last question, Doctor. Do you and the team that originated, do you all you all still keep in contact? Y'all have like
Oh yes,
cookouts?
yes. We work every day. I mean, like I said, I have so many jobs. I have the film studio. I also have a deal. Sorry, I forgot to mention as well with BMG, a label deal with BMG, and a publishing deal with BMG Records, and so it's just so many jobs. That plus the network, and it's filming, and it's and then Fubu with my guys. We still do that. And I'm more of a creative director now, so I don't have to do too much work. I could just have to give my ideas versus having to sit there and design every day and do and all that stuff. So we make it work. We make it work. And look forward to our new line coming out in spring.
Oh, nice.
Fubu or a different brand under a different brand?
Fubu.
Okay.
Awesome.
There has been this uptick. You had a question? I know
I'll
you
let
wanna
you. Yeah, I'll let you.
Yeah, go.
It's more of a comment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no, go ahead, make your comment. Yep.
No, I just wanted to know: are we going to see you this year at the NABJ conference in Chicago?
You may. It depends on the schedule.
That's okay. All right.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the culture as we see it now, because of course hip hop culture changed a little bit in terms of clothing, right? 50 years of hip hop, I believe you guys deserve your flowers because you was part of that, right? So I wanna amplify that, give you a round of applause for that, because you were a major brand, dynamic brand. Clothes, garments, textiles, the way that we look at clothing has changed, right? Did you see, well, they go out and then they come back in, right? But do you see did you have to make a shift in the way that you designed from then to now? And what are what do you think some of the obstacles are now that you have to kind of fight with against some of the other kind of like newer brands that's coming out that's maybe doing similar things? Do you see any challenges? Did you have to pivot? What was that like?
Well, I mean, so if I go backwards in time, when we at our peak or pinnacle, baggy was in.
Yeah.
Baggy clothes were
back out.
in, and I think when there was a switch to more tapered, a more tapered look.
Yeah.
People didn't really accept us. That changed for us. And again, after you're in business over 30 years, you're gonna lose customers. That customer is gonna grow, and it's gonna grow out of what you have. So the constant, problem or the constant nuances in the business of fashion is just being on time, just coming up, finding the trend or foreshadowing what the trend's going to be.
Yeah.
Because if you could be too fast, you could be too late, you could be or late, and playing mostly the inventory game, because you can turn around and, oh my God, this didn't really sell, and then after a couple of seasons, you have tons of stuff in the warehouse. Now you have to discount it, and you lose the money at that point. So there's a lot of things that happen in that business it's just daily, a daily thing. How much inventory do you buy, or do you not buy at all? Or now with a lot of things printing on demand, so you don't even have to have inventory. So it's a constant, repetition of problems that just always going to be there. But you just have to kind of just, go with your gut and ride in it and hope that you know exactly what people are going to want.
Yeah.
Because when we design 6 months, 8 months, out,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
because it takes time for the goods to come in. So you can't, unless you just do it, in LA or domestic, and then the churn is a little better. But it's not as it's more cookie cutter, more staple items, like just a T-shirt and a graphic. That's it. So you can turn that over faster, but again, it's still not. I don't want to say it's not the quality, but it's just not the same as if you would do it overseas, because then you're basically planning out a whole line versus
Yeah.
a one-off T-shirt or a capsule, small capsule.
Yeah. I think that so now we're in kind of like this, they call it the sneaker culture piece, right? Sneakers has become very big in the culture right now, right? I mean, people are wearing tuxedos with sneaks on, they wear some chucks. Have you guys thought about entering that particular market? Do you feel like that's something that you want to get into, or do you feel like, that's not our lane, but we like what's going on? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, we do have suits. We've had suits for a few years now. We've had, a lot of our licensees. We go in and out, in and out, in and out of.
Okay.
Our overseas license, they had the license for sneakers. They
Okay.
have some stuff, so that if you go overseas, you'll find footwear. Um, we're always going to be at the pulse of fashion somehow, because of how many verticals we have. I mean, listen, we have uh, a license for what do you call it, scrubs,
Mm.
Nice.
which
Wow,
is
that's
like, why would you have scrubs? But it is what it is. I mean,
yeah.
people,
Yes.
they like them and it's selling. So we're always going to be in the business of fashion, and anything that is fashion, we will hope to emulate, or we'll try to create something that is the newest thing.
Yeah.
That's just how I am. That's just what I'm always going to be. I'm always keeping my eye to the, my eyes to the street, or I'm always traveling. I'm always looking around. I call it being nosy. I go to a
Yeah.
club and I just stand there and watch,
There
and
you
I'm just
go.
looking at what people are wearing, trying to figure out what's the next thing.
Yeah. That's called the cool poles, the cool hunters as they call it. What is what's the next move for Fubo, right? Is it the next iteration? And I want to back up real quick, because you said, things were big. Now that's kind of like where the trend is right now. Everything is like oversized again. We're going to flared, from bell bottoms flared to kind of wide leg pants. Now we're doing oversized blazers. Everything is oversized now. So, I mean, everything comes back and forth, right? Do you guys plan on showing? Are you showing Fashion Week coming in February up there? Are you guys planning on showing anything? Doing
We,
anything
we
for Fashion
may,
Week?
we may, we play it by ear every year.
Okay.
It's a lot. It's very expensive to do, a real show when
Yeah.
it comes to, Fashion Week. It's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, it's good for people. Sometimes it's good for everybody. It's really not for, it's really for press more so than
Yeah.
anything. It's not necessarily that, your buyers or anything are going to come per se. They don't really come. That's not how it works. It's really just for press. And you kind of have to do stuff that's going to be that impressive. And we're ready to wear, and we're not necessarily uh, in that super high end where
Yeah.
we would, because
Haute
we
couture.
were one of the first ones, urban brands to do
Right.
the fashion shows, the real fashion shows, or what they
Yeah.
used to call 7 on 6,
That's
back
right. That's
then.
right. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
after that, we just kind of stopped because it wasn't behoove us. It
Yeah.
just didn't
Seven and
really,
six was
I don't say
doing Mercedes
I don't want to say it
Benz.
was
So
a
yeah.
waste of money,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was sort of a waste of money because we
Yeah.
can get more we can save that money and just have people come in and buy the line and keep it moving.
Right.
But what we'll do a lot of times, instead of us doing our own particular fashion show, somebody will do a fashion show and they'll have a group and we'll just lend some clothes to it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
mostly
Yeah.
what we'll do. But as far as gigantic fashion shows and things like 7 on 6 and things like that, we don't do it anymore.
Wow. You have an extensive background. You have been doing so much is there anything that you feel like you want the people to know in terms of the things that you're doing? I mean, you talked a little bit about your book. I feel like, you can amplify that a little bit more because I want people to know about the things that you're doing. What else are you doing that everyone should know about?
Well, again, I think right now I really want to make sure that the book is that's the really my claim to fame right now.
You
I
got
mean,
a you
yes,
got a
I'm
book.
doing,
You got it next to you. You got something you can show right now. Your book. You got your book next to you. You froze.
You asking me?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I don't have it here. I don't have
Oh.
it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If
No,
I
go
would
ahead.
have, yeah, I would have. Trust me, I would have. My marketing 101, right?
Yeah, no doubt. So let's talk a little bit about it then. No, go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's the strength of forest bias, the name, and in the title, it's just what forest bias really meant,
Right.
and how we can all if we all use that, then we all will, progress. And I
Okay.
think that, today's society, it's with everyone bringing each other down and everyone is just trying to destroy each other. I think that it's pertinent today more than it needs, more than it has to be. I mean, it has to be more pertinent today.
Right.
That strength, the strength of us kind of, breaking the chain of what our, yeah, and I hate to say this, a lot of times people, use situations to influence and to take them down and make
Yeah.
them feel like they can't do something. And I think that we all need to help each other and build each other up to be able
That's
to
right.
feel that we can all do what we can do. Because again, it's all about supporting each other, like you
That's
said
right. That's
earlier.
right. That's right. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The term is forced bias, is what you're saying, right? Forced
For
bias.
us, yeah, for us, by us.
For us bias. That's great. For us bias. So, FUBU, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just excited to have someone who's been I've been in the industry for maybe about 20 years, and to see you guys, and that's why I feel like I think you guys can have more of a conversation based on the fashion and hip hop, right? Because outside of like Dapper Dan and a few others, you were hip hop, right? And
Yeah.
so that conversation based around fashion and hip hop, I see you guys at the top of that, and I think you guys should, can have more, dialogue based around that, because I think that needs to be amplified. So kudos to you guys, because standing on that, and kudos to y'all. So, I just want to say thanks for coming to the show. We'll probably be reaching out again.
Okay.
One of the things that we say on the show is once you come to the show, you're a friend to the show, so you're always welcome to come back.
Well, thank you.
And I want to talk to you a little bit more about fashion, man. Go ahead.
I was going one thing before you go. You've just shared a lot, even with
Yeah.
your, you were adopted and you went into the military, and it just seems like a very layered but intentional and cognizant person. Can you give us some words of wisdom holistically, just to that young person or even that older person, whomever that is, trying to get it to that level of, beyond the ceiling, and they feel like they can, or they want to give up? What would
Well,
you
that's
tell
the thing. It's funny. A lot of people, if the average person comes up to me and says, "Oh, I want to start a business," give me some advice. And the first thing I'll tell them is start, and then I walk away. And then if they stop me, then we'll talk again. We'll continue talking. Then I'll say to them after that, listen, if you really want to start a business, first of all, go out, tell everybody you want to start this business, right? And let them tell you all the reasons why it's not going to happen, or why you can't do it, or or that's a dumb business, or whatever it is, right? Write all that down. And then give yourself an answer for all of those naysayers or all of those situations. And then you go in yourself and you self-reflect and you find out all the reasons why it's not going to work. And you start checking that off. And after you finish that whole checklist and you check off the box and check off the box and have an answer for all those situations, then you start your business.
No doubt.
There it is.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. One more time. J. Alexander, Doctor, I'm gonna call you Doctor. J. Alexander Martin, FUBU, founder of FUBU, one of the four founders of FUBU, classic, legend in his own right, one of the fathers of hip hop fashion, as I say it, you know. So kudos to you, my friend. And like I said, once you come to the show, you're a friend to the show, so you're always welcome to come back. I'm definitely going to be reaching out, man, for some of these movies. I'm wardrobing, man. We can get some of that stuff in there, you know, that magazine. And definitely the book. We got to talk a little bit more about the book and tell everyone how they can get back in contact with you and all that good old stuff.
Okay, I guess same old social media like anybody else. Facebook, which is my name, J. Alexander Martin, or Instagram, the letter J. Alexander Martin. LinkedIn, J. Alexander Martin. Everything J. Alexander Martin. Website,jalexandermartin.com.
There you go. For us, by us, ladies and gentlemen. That's what this show is. It's for us, by us.
That's right.
The show's for us, by us, right? No doubt. So don't go nowhere, y'all. We'll be right back, and we coming back with the sizzle. My brother, I appreciate you. This is your boy, Charles Gregg, with the beautiful.
Lauren Sizzle.
And the beautiful.
Classy Lady
And
Sparkle.
the beautiful.
Lady Esther.
And my guy.
Yes, sir. J. Alexander Martin, y'all.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back after this, y'all. Holla.
What's going on, you guys? This is Bridget Kelly, and you are locked into We Talk Weekly.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We Talk Weekly after the talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies after the talk with your boy Charles Gregg and the beautiful.
Lauren Sizzle.
And the beautiful.
Classy Lady Sparkle.
And the beautiful.
Lady Esther.
And we just had my guy Jay Alexander on. I like that guy. I like that gentleman. He's doing some amazing things, and we definitely gonna have him come back. Kudos to you, my friend. And so you already know what time it is next, right?
Yes. We got the sizzle.
Give it to me early.
All right. So before you guys, before I get right on into the sizzle, make sure you guys follow We Talk Weekly on all social media and major podcast platforms. And if you want to support what we're doing, make sure you make a donation on Cash App to $ We Talk Weekly. Just know that your support goes to help us continue doing what we're doing.
Right.
All right, so Auntie finally got her flowers. I'm so excited about this. Angela Bassett finally has an Oscar. This is literally 30 years overdue.
She EGOT now, right?
She, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She EGOT?
Yeah, I believe she is.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I have to check in.
No doubt. No doubt. Okay.
Yeah. So at the 14th At the 14th Governor's Awards, Angela Bassett, hey auntie, she received her Oscar and delivered a powerful speech. She started by shouting out her family, husband, and children. Then she paid tribute to her late mother, Betty. Then she looked back at actresses who have already won Oscars, such as Hattie McDaniel and Halle Berry. And she went on to highlight Black and brown actresses who are doing amazing work in the industry. Angela Bassett said, "I proudly share this honor with women who stand up when they are told to stand back, who speak up when they are silenced, who remain determined when they're told they're defeated. These women represent those that I've had the honor to portray, as well as the everyday woman who surround us and inspire us to keep striving." So kudos to her. We're gonna look that up. That if she is an EGOT, I know that she's had she's won many awards. I'm not sure if she's in the EGOT category yet.
No,
but
she isn't.
G is for Grammy. Why would she get a Grammy? She don't sing.
No, but she could. They voice on songs and stuff. It's so many ways you can do that.
And theater.
Viola Davis.
Yeah, I
she's
don't
an
know
EGOT.
if she's-
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if
Whoopi
Angela
Goldberg.
Bassett have gotten it for Grammy or theater.
John Legend, of course. And
Jennifer Hudson
Jennifer
is
Hudson
one,
is
yeah.
one of them. Yeah.
Yep.
It's only 17 of them.
No, it's not. It's only 9.
It's not that many.
Yeah.
There's only 9 black
Black.
EGOTs.
Yeah.
I was saying overall 17.
Viola
Okay.
Davis. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, we need that number to be a little
I
bit
know.
bigger though.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Jennifer Hudson, my bad.
No, it's not. Everybody ain't
Rodriguez.
working in all fields. Some people just pick the ones they like.
But the black ones.
I know.
So, Cat Williams, not gonna belabor that too much, but he sat down with the Shannon Sharp show, Shannon Sharp on the Shay Shay show, and his video went viral, and has 47 million views on YouTube, and it just caused like this really, really big frenzy in with all the comedians as he was coming at everybody in Hollywood, almost everybody in Hollywood. So in the interview, he's making these accusations that Steve Harvey hated on Bernie Mac while he's having this man unit and trying to sabotage his career and stealing Mark Curry's show. Cat claimed that Cedric the Entertainer stole his jokes and he doesn't write. He also accused Ludacris of Illuminati involvement. Ricky Smiley was never supposed to play Money Mike in Friday After Next. And Cat also talked about black actors having to dress up like women in films. So many of the comedians have already responded back to Cat, calling his claims false. Cedric denies stealing his joke. Ludacris clapped back with a Cat Williams freestyle diss. But you have so many people coming out and supporting Cat Williams for speaking out. So somebody said, I rarely sit through 3 hours of anything, but I listen to all of this. I will watch every Cat Williams show I can find. This guy has integrity. Some people try to label him as this, but this is a very smart, funny man. Cat Williams spoke like like this was him playing chess. So why do you feel like the public was so ready for, I guess, this type of interview?
Say it again, Sizzle.
I was saying, why do you think the public is like so ready for like this type of interview? Like so many people are supporting him.
It's almost like it's like the year of the reckoning. Like everything is starting to come like, full circle. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It just seems like a lot of people are talking. There's so much other stuff that people are just like airing out that I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are y'all thoughts?
I don't know. That's what I was asking earlier. I mean, why? I don't know. The comedians have been in the front eye right now. So I don't know. Maybe it's about that time. It seems like all this was planned to me, but it's interesting. It's just an interesting thing.
It feels like entertainment overall.
Yeah,
like
that's
they're
what
just
I'm saying.
tired of the secrets, right?
Yeah.
Tired of the secrets that are being kept, tired of the things that's not being told, tired of doing the, that song and dance in public when there's something else behind the scenes. And a lot of people don't really understand what that is. I mean, from the comedian and Cat Williams talking about everything that's been happening with the comedians and, and then you got Taraji talking about them not getting paid fair. And then you got everything coming out with Black Hollywood because once Cassie sued Puffy, now that has spin-tailed into something else. So now, so all of those celebrities are coming out.
That started.
So now it's because that right there has everybody's name mixed in it, from the BMF folks all the way up to Denzel. So everybody's name is coming up now. It's like nobody has been off limits. I mean, even TD Jake's name has been brought into that. So I don't know who we haven't.
Yeah, you made a
heard
good
about.
point.
Yeah,
Like that happened first.
Everybody's like, we telling. It's like everybody's not keeping any secrets anymore. This is what's going on. This is what's been happening, and it has snowballed.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think now that people want something real. Like, they just feel like stuff coming out and like, thinking one thing is one way, and Hollywood is just like so everything in secrecy and all that. I guess just like wanting like real stuff. Like,
yeah, but my thing with it is the 3 topics that I just named, they're so big and they have so many big names attached, but it's our entire Black entertainment world. I feel like all the white people sitting back right now going, "Who they crazy?"
Like you setting a match. to your whole
Exactly.
castle.
Yeah.
And where's the other castle? There's only yeah.
Crazy. All right, so the Celebrity Sizzle Award of the week. So the 81st Golden Globes kicked off without a hitch. Comedian actor Joe Coy opened up with his controversial monologue, which people slammed,
they
saying
was
people
hating on
barely
that.
laughed. And Joe Coy pointed out jokes that he didn't write to insinuate those were the jokes that weren't his and weren't funny. But nevertheless, this year's Golden Globe Awards, which has struggled to bring viewers in over the past several years, garnered 9.4 million viewers, a 50% increase from last year. Oppenheimer came out as the big winner, bringing home 5 awards.
That was
But
pretty good though.
I gotta watch that. I heard it's really
It's
long.
like 3 hours. Though.
Yeah.
3.5
Yeah.
hours, something like that.
Yeah, I gotta watch that. But for Philadelphia, the highlight of the night came when actress Divine Joy Randolph took home Best Performance by a Female Actor in a Supporting Role for any motion picture for her portrayal of the character Mary Lamb in the Holdovers. So, who is Divine Joy Randolph? She is a Temple University alum,
Okay.
born and raised in Philadelphia.
Okay.
She's from the Mount Airy section.
Okay.
This is her first Golden Globe with little whispers of Oscars and SAG
you go.
nominations. She went
Yeah.
went to Yale School of Drama. She played Oda Mae Brown in the musical Ghost the Musical back in 2012. She had a spectacular performance in Eddie Murphy's Dolomite Is My Name in 2019, which kind of helped to catapult her career. But her Golden Globes acceptance speech was so touching. She says, this is beyond. I never expected any of this, and I'm just trying to take it one step at a time. So shout out to her.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's just amazing that she took home that award. She beat out some actresses, like for real. Like when I saw her in that
And
category.
she's from Philly.
Yeah, that's
And
what's
she's
up.
from Philly.
So I'm a fan just because of that. I'm biased to Philly. You from Philly? I'ma like you anyway. I
Yeah.
don't care what you know. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
You like Cat over you like Kevin over Cat?
See, the thing with that is, it's just by default. It's kind of like how I like the Philadelphia teams, right? Like it's just by
Yeah.
default. I
Right.
like them. I might like other teams better, but I just like them because they from Philly.
Right.
Kevin Hart. I happen to, I don't know Kevin Hart, but I know Kevin Hart, and he just like that's just like anybody from Philly. Like you mother sucker. I
feel
by
you.
default.
Yeah.
It's a lot of comedians. Touray. What is it?
Touray.
Touray. That's
Yeah.
my man. Like,
Yeah.
it's like by default, but he's funny though.
He's
He's funny.
very
funny.
He's probably
hilarious.
the most underrated comedian on the planet.
He is so
He is funny.
Even when
He
he's
is
not
funny.
trying to be funny.
That's what I'm saying. He's
Very
so funny. And so he deserves his flower. I'm giving his flower just because I can. But
So
anybody
you see
from
what you
Philly-
just did though?
What? What's
You talked
that?
about Kevin Hart and then you talked to Ray. You said, but he funny though.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna let it live. I'm gonna let
Kevin
it
Hart
sit
is
there.
funny, but Touray is funny. Touray, he's funny.
It's funny,
He's
and
funny.
then there's
It's
funny.
funny.
It's levels
yeah,
to this.
Yeah, he's funny. I think for what Kevin Hart does, he's funny. for
So
what
real
Kevin
quick, I
Hart
want to
does.
know who your comedy Mount Rushmore got on it.
I knew she was going to say
I don't know. I've been thinking about that a long time.
it's tough.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, do I add the dead or alive? And so if I'm talking about the dead, it gotta be like the Pryors.
gotta be.
It gotta be.
It gotta be.
Red Fox, and like these is like some of the greats. But then I got like what's day to day? I got the Chappelles. I got Cats. I got Gotta put Eddie on there.
I would, without thought, I would.
Hold that thought. We talk weekly after the talk of WPPMP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We talk weeklies after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful. And the beautiful.
Classy
And the
ladies
beautiful.
sparkle.
Lady
And we
style.
out. Go ahead. All right, now I'm off the. Go ahead. There you go.
Yeah. No, I was saying, like, without thought for me, when I hear that, I'm like, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy.
Richard
What is
Pryor.
it? How many of it? 5? Four. It's only four, right?
Yeah, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy,
Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle.
Chris Rock. I don't know. He's not. He's not on. He's not in my. He's funny, but I don't. I don't. I think Cat Williams is funnier than him. I really do.
Because see, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, and Cat Williams for me are all. I like comedians who are, you can tell they smart, and not necessarily storytellers, but they can talk about the world and current events.
That's why
and
Steinfeld
bring it
is in
all
mine.
into who?
Steinfeld.
Nah,
Stein or Sign?
Seinfeld. Seinfeld.
Nah, he ain't in on Mount Rushmore.
I think he's funny.
Okay.
But I think
Yeah.
it's because he adds the intellect to it. It's almost
I
like
like the
that
ones that
dry
have the
humor.
intellect that are able to add the current,
When I
can
think
talk current
Rushmore-
events and make it funny.
When I think Rushmore, I think of my black folks. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I like
Cat
Seinfeld,
Williams
Me too,
but
is
but
really
I'm
good
just
with
saying
that.
Seinfeld to me.
Cat Williams is fun. Like you can't deny Cat.
Dave Chappelle.
He's my.
Like,
Dave Chappelle's another one. He can just tell a
That's the
story,
top.
and just by way of him telling that story, he's funny. Like even what's her name on there?
I don't feel like Cat Williams is a storyteller. Cat Williams is just funny. Dave Chappelle tells stories when he does his comedy. Cat Williams doesn't tell stories. He just hitting you one after the other.
Okay.
What story has he ever told?
You gotta listen
Oh,
to him.
yeah, he do
He
stories.
tells stories. That's what he.
But that's what he just got on Cedric the Entertainer about. He said that he stole his story that he was in the car and he was learning how to, he was parking and what we do with our music. And then took it
Turned it into a
a
spaceship.
You have Richard Pryor, Red Fox. You got. All right, there you go. Dave Chappelle, Wanda Sykes.
Wanda?
Wanda's funny.
I've seen her
She not on
stand
my.
up.
She not on my thing, but she's funny. I like Wanda Sykes. Cedric the Entertainer. She's funny. She don't even try to be. She
Funny to me is you gotta when I'm watching. You gotta kill it in stand up for me, not just TV
Right,
shows.
that's,
It gotta
I
be
think, what I'm
stand ups.
thinking.
It gotta be stand ups, and you gotta make me laugh like
All
out
right,
loud.
All right, so
Yeah.
real quick,
If I don't laugh out loud
we're gonna
ever,
do this real quick. Yay or nay? Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
yes.
Wanda Sykes.
Silence means no.
Okay. Cedric the Entertainer.
No.
Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chris Rock.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Red Fox.
Yes.
Martin Lawrence.
Oh.
That's another one. He was funny.
He's like Chris
was.
Rock to me.
But
I
He
think
didn't talk
I
about-
also think when you say Chris Tucker, I think Chris Tucker was back when it was Def Comedy
yeah, he
Jam.
was
But then when
funny
he
then.
started to do acting, he lost it to me.
when they get
Chris Tucker?
commercial, it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, Jamie Foxx.
Yes.
Yes. D.L. Hughley.
I'm not a fan.
Fox,
I can't. Kevin Hart, I will say to me in his earlier time was a little bit more funnier than
Everybody
he is
when
now.
they started, this is my
The
thing. I
grind.
feel like everybody when they started was funny. They lose it because then they try
get
not to
caught.
lose their money.
Tracy
But
Morgan.
it,
No.
no.
Whoopi Goldberg.
She does stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did
That's
before.
when she
She
started.
did. Yep, she
I don't remember seeing
Tiffany
it.
Haddish.
Hell
Monique.
no. Yeah.
Monique,
Monique,
was all right.
yes.
Yeah, she's
Chris Tucker.
No, not his stand up.
It's
No.
another one funny.
These
Some
older
more.
ones. Yeah. I don't
Some
know.
more
Samora
is
is
good.
funny.
Yes,
Underrated.
some more is
She
good.
underrated.
Yeah, some more is good.
Aisha Teller. She's pretty funny. Steve Harvey.
No.
Charlie Murphy. He was funny.
Not to me.
Eddie
I seen
Griffin?
I seen Charlie Murphy.
Yes.
Yes. Eddie Griffin
Yes.
all day.
Eddie
yes.
Griffin, yes.
Flip Wilson.
Yeah, Eddie Griffin.
I forgot about
Paul
Eddie.
Mooney.
Paul
Funny.
Mooney, yes. Paul Mooney is funny.
Robin Harris.
Yeah.
Baby's
He was
Kids.
funny.
Yes,
I saw
yes.
it.
I'm too young for that.
He was
Yeah.
funny. He had me
Mike Epps.
He was coming at people in the audience like he had me in tears.
Mike Epps, no.
Okay, what about Patrice O'Neal?
Sinbad.
Oh yeah, Sinbad.
I
You know
didn't-
what I thought was Sinbad was a really good stand-up comedian, and he was somebody who could make you laugh and never told one curse word.
Well, that was his thing.
Lavelle Crawford.
Lavelle
Yeah,
is
he
No.
hilarious. Hilarious.
I
He's
can't-
the best.
I
He-
for-
Wow.
now
He
listen,
can't even understand half the stuff he's saying.
I forgot
He
about him.
storytells so much. I be dying.
Look, I forgot about him because he's
love
probably
him.
one that can go back and forth with Cat.
Yes,
Lavelle.
he is hilarious.
All right, Marlon Wayans.
Yeah,
No, I
like Marlon.
can't.
Marlon funny.
No, it's like the annoying.
Marlon
funny.
is slapstick
Yeah,
comedy.
slapstick
It's
comedy.
just
yeah.
like
Yeah,
it gets
yeah,
annoying.
Keenan Keenan Wayne.
No.
I couldn't.
None of the Waynes. So keep going.
Ricky Smiley.
No.
No.
Patrice O'Neal.
Yes. Yes. Patrice is.
Shut up, Lauren.
Play too much.
David Allen Greer.
No.
No.
As an actor, I
Bill
learned to
Bill
like-
Cosby.
No.
Yeah.
He was funny.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did see. Yeah, Bill Cosby had some funny
Yeah.
stand-up.
Leslie Jones.
I'm getting
All
there.
right.
Hold on. So Dick Gregory was a comedian? I thought he was like a
No, he
actor.
was.
Yes,
First
he
came
started
out.
out. Yeah, and then he
Okay.
went activist.
All right. Let me see. Arsenio Hall.
No, not
No.
stand up. No. We can talk about stand up.
George Wallace. I don't know who.
Oh,
that
I
is.
remember him.
Wallace, yeah.
Yeah.
He was alright. He was alright.
Yeah, he used to be on Def Jam a lot too.
Damon Wayans.
I said none of the Waynes.
Okay.
Keep going.
Earthquake. Earthquake funny.
Earthquake is funny.
Earthquake is funny. He's funny. He's not on the
Earthquake
top.
is
Yeah,
funny.
he funny.
Bill Bellamy. It's just
No,
comedy.
I'm sorry.
That's not Bill Bellamy.
It's just comedy.
No.
It's not.
That was Bill Bellamy's Booty Call. Who the one I used to say is just comedy was used to be always at the Laugh House down here on South Street. Oh, what was his name? Light skin bull. I forget.
It'll
I ain't
probably
seen him in a
come to me.
minute.
Bruce. No. He was funny.
He a little-
Yeah,
he
it was
alright.
alright.
Anthony
Yeah.
Anderson.
No, none of
No,
D.
no.
Ray Davis.
D-Ray I like. He's
Yeah.
okay.
Stand up, no.
If he got a good
Yeah.
day, you be like, you did okay.
Yeah, he all right. LaWanda Page.
D. Ray Davis falling in the
What?
She was the one. You sucker, you drive
Yeah,
turkey.
but was she? When was she doing?
I didn't know that.
stand-up?
I didn't know. I'm just looking at this top. Here you go. Tommy Davidson.
Yeah,
I
all
couldn't
right.
get into him. It was like
John
a wait.
Witherspoon.
stand up.
Oh yeah.
ET be funny.
Robert Townsend.
I don't remember seeing none of these people in stand up.
Yeah. Jared
Carmichael.
Carmichael.
They have. Mm-hmm.
Aisha Teller. She's
She's
funny. Cat Williams.
Was
Hannibal Buress.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah. He's just okay.
Some of these people I probably got to see their face.
CeeLo.
Yeah. D.L. Hughley.
I could not.
Monique. Monique, she's probably my see, I like some more.
Females.
I liked Adele
Yeah.
back in the day though. Adele Givens.
Oh
Adele-
yeah,
Such a freaking lady.
Freaking lady, yeah, no doubt, no doubt.